What's up, dudes? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm taking a look at something that I am extremely excited to take a look at. I got this guy like a couple of days ago, and I've just been really wanting to take a look at him. But I've pretty much had to do some other videos, like the Frankenstein set and some of the others. So I haven't really, I've had them, and I just haven't been able to, review them yet. But I am super excited that I actually get to do it. And if you couldn't tell by this little dude in the back, it's a Leatherface. And not just really any Leatherface, it's from the 2022 Netflix movie. And I actually really liked the movie. It's, again, I do have a lot of problems with it, but it was a dumb fun movie. That's the best way that anyone can describe this movie. It's dumb, it's got fun parts, but it's mostly got dumb parts, but it's fun to me. But anyways, we have ourselves the small Hiya Toys Leatherface from the Netflix series. I'm excited. I really want to take a look at this. Alright, I'll show you. This is my Trick or Treat Studios 2003 remake of Leatherface. Custom painted, and I'm so excited. That thing, it looks awesome. Is the hair? Oh yeah, that hair is good. I sprayed the crap out of it with some hairspray. Dang, it just looks so cool. I love the way that looks. Anyways, I'm just gonna put that to the side right now. That looks so cool as just a display piece. I cannot wait to actually, get the rest of the costume done, because this is my Halloween costume. So I just gotta get the rest of it done, and that's something I do want to show later on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Let's get on to the review. So first of all, taking a look at the actual box itself, this is pretty much, it looks so cool. I absolutely love the way this thing looks. Of course, this is the slaughter version. This isn't the regular version. The regular version doesn't have a lot of, blood, and it's not bloody, like it is right now. But it does have an extra accessory, which is the reason why I got the slaughter version. And the slaughter version looked actually really cool. You can see that it says Texas Chainsaw Massacre, picture of the figure, I believe, right there. Slaughter version on the side. There's a beautiful image of Leatherface right there. I think out of all the designs, this one it's not my favorite, but it's definitely, I really do like the look of this Leatherface. Hiya Toys right there, Texas Chainsaw Massacre right there, some more images right there. The bottom just says Texas Chainsaw, and a couple of images of figures and some other stuff. I got this off of Macari from Kid Motors, which I believe is just a regular toy store, but they were pretty cool. I actually got him for pretty much this price, really, and it looks awesome. Really do like the way the packaging looks. So we're gonna give you a very rare, usually I don't do this, unboxing experience. So let's open this bad boy up and slide it out like so. And you can see in the back there's a beautiful image of Leatherface with that party bus, and I really do like the way that looks. Alright, taking a look at the clam tray, which there is another tray that holds all the pieces together. If you lift up the little tape here, he comes with two sets of hands here. He comes with the decapitated head, comes with this chainsaw, the figure itself right here, of course the display base, and all the other good stuff. So we're going to take all of this out, lay out his accessories, and take a look at what he comes with. So he really does not come with much. He does come with two of these little hands here, which are just little grabby hands. If I can kind of show that, I can just kind of show one because they're both pretty much the same. But he's got two very small grabby hands, and if that will focus enough, there we go, that's good enough. don't mind my hands. I was working on the mask, which is why I wanted to show it off in this video, because I just thought it was fitting, and it's pretty much like all done. So but you can see that there is, oh my gosh, it's so hard to focus this thing. It does look pretty nicely painted. I really do like the way it looks. I think his other hands are painted better, but you can see that the hands are painted pretty nicely. The other hands that he does come with, which I'm just going to show right now, are very bloody, but you know, it's okay. I kind of wish they were consistent, because when you put these hands on, it looks a little funny, and I'll show you guys what I mean. The accessory that we get with this version is the decapitated head of one of the main characters. Spoiler alert, but you know, at the very end of the movie, you know, this character, don't even know what her name is, but she was my least favorite character, so I was happy when she actually died. You know, they think that they're safe, and they go into that weird Tesla-looking vehicle, and then just Leatherface crashes through the window and grabs her out and just decapitates her. And you can see that there is a hand that you know, is grabbing her head like that, which looks so cool. You can see that there's some detail here. The face looks like a robot chicken doll. That's basically what that looks like. It's so weird looking, but I think that it's a very, very nice addition. He also comes with one of his weapons, which is the chainsaw, which I think is very nicely painted, very nicely sculpted, and it just looks so cool. I love the way this chainsaw looks. I love the blood on the actual chainsaw itself, and that just kind of spews out right to there. And I love the weathering. I love the weathering on the actual chainsaw itself. I think it's really, really cool. The next kind of accessories that we have are the floor, and the floor looks pretty nice. It basically looks like his home floor. It's nicely painted, and I do like the wooden look to it. I do like the you know, the kind of marks here to make it look a little bit older. I feel like there could have been a little bit more of a black wash and just kind of getting into these cracks a little bit, but that is what it is. You also do come with these little pieces, which of course you put, if you guys have seen any of the Hiya Toys reviews, which I have taken a look at some Hiya Toys figures, mainly being the Predators. You place those little H pieces right there at the edge, and then you can connect other bases together, which I think is really cool. And you can connect it onto the side right here. There are 4 points to where you can actually connect it, and all of them are very, very nicely tight. It's got a nice grip to all of them, unlike some of the Predator ones where they just kept falling off. But the idea is that you take another Hiya Toys base and you just kind of slide them together like this, and there you go. It doesn't really match, but at least you have a nice option to kind of display all your figures. And if you ever had like multiple flooring, you can make your own scene with something, and I think that's really, really cool. But all you do is just kind of take that off, and you can see it's not completely compatible, because that is very loose for that one, and also that one too, but it works for what it's supposed to do. Usually I just kind of like to keep these in here just so, you know, you don't lose them, and it's a very nice fit, and I really do like the way that looks. But we're gonna put all the accessories aside and take a look at Leatherface himself. And here we have Leatherface, the best part of this 2022 movie from the Netflix, the Netflix special. It's so cool. I love this design for him. It's so just gross looking. Getting in a little bit closer, you can see that the head sculpt is very nicely painted. I love just the way it looks. It's so gross looking, but you can see that it is just that old lady head sculpt. If I can kind of get a better look at everything, give me a second. There we go. That's a better look. It looks so gross. It's so glossy and just wet looking. It just looks so gross, and I love the way it looks. He does have a little bit of sculpting inside the face, so if we kind of turn the light on, you can see that there's just so much gross detailing. And he does have some sculpting. You can see the eyes in there, and you can see the mouth, but it's not like 100% sculpted. But I think that's fine because it just looks so interesting. It gives me a bit of Professor Pig vibes, just a little, but it looks so cool. I love the way this skin mask looks. He does have a sculpted. He's got to have some sculpted hair as well, which is very nice. It's pretty long, so I think that's pretty nice as well. It doesn't really hinder the posability that much, so I think that's really fun. Going on to the actual suit itself, it's just a basic brown, brown looking suit, and nothing too special. The posability is very nice, and you can see that hand popped off. We're going to talk about that in a second, so stay tuned for that, because I've had some problems with this figure first day I got it, so stay tuned for that. But you can see that it does have the little tie right here. Very nice little bow for his with the apron. Basic black pants. He does have some shoes, which I like the shoes because one of them is if you can kind of see, one of them is tucked in and the other one is not. So I think that's really kind of neat, kind of how messy his wardrobe is. He also has the apron, which is just covered in blood. This definitely has to take place after the party scene, and you can see that with the actual hands and stuff, they are super just caked with blood, and it just looks so gross. And of course, he has his tie. Leatherface always has his little tie. Taking him off the stand though, he does look really cool. And switching out his hands is probably the trickiest part. This hand was fine right out of the box. The hand is fine. The peg looks exactly like how it should be, and all you do is just snap that in there. But this hand is where I had the problem with. And as you can see, if you pop that off, that's not the original peg. And there's a big reason on why that's not the original peg. So when I got the figure, I was trying to do the hand swaps, and I popped this hand out, and the peg came along with it. So I had to figure out why that was doing what it was doing, so I just tried to grab a little pair of pliers, and I tried to just, yank it out, and it just snapped. It was way too tight inside of the actual hand, and it wasn't as secure like this one. So the peg snapped in half, and I tried so many different methods, but this one is the one that kind of works. It's taking a tiny little bit of wire, sculpting it to have points at the end, and then just gluing it inside the actual hand or the forearm, and you got a little point here, which it does work. It just doesn't work as well as I wish. But it stays in there, and if you want to do photos with it, you can. There's just no like rotating it. You pretty much have to take the hand out, pose it how you want it, and yeah. So that is the suckiest part about it. And since I bought this off like Macari, there was no you can't really go to the Hiya Toys website and ask for anything, which I don't think. Some other things that actually suck is that the paint job slowly started to come off as well, so you don't get that. You got some parts that are just kind of, it looks like the paint chipped, unlike this side, which looks awesome, and then you get the gross looking other hand. But that was my journey with this, and this was first day too, so I was really upset, and but we got it to work. I'm happy now, and yeah. So swapping out the hands, you pretty much just gotta pull and then grab the hand that you want, and snap that in there. And as you can see, the paint job is not consistent since this one's not bloodied enough, so it just doesn't match at all. Putting the chainsaw into the actual Leatherface's hand is pretty simple. You just kind of got to put it in at an angle and try get around the fingers and then fold it back into the actual hands, and there you go, he's got his chainsaw. But there he is with the actual chainsaw in hand. I think that looks absolutely awesome. It is a little bit, worrying, trying to get the pose in, but the replacement peg, kind of works. It does fall off kind of easily, but, I think it does work really well. And it looks so cool. It's so awesome. I haven't had him two-handed. I haven't had him two-handed the chainsaw yet, so I think that looks so cool. And I really like the way this looks. It's so neat. It's such a neat little figure. I really do like him. There is two other versions. Of course, there's like the more kind of cleaner version, which is just regular, no real blood added to it, which I was gonna get until, I wanted the slaughter version. I wanted something a little different, which I think this is awesome. And then there is an $80 one, which is a 6-inch figure. And I'm very, very tempted to actually get it because it looks so cool. The detailing is beautiful, and I want it. So I'm going to try and save up for it, and we'll see how that goes. But the figure right now looks awesome. I love the chainsaw added to it. But if we kind of pop this little arm off, I'm just going to try and do this on camera, just so you guys see how I struggle. But we take that little hand off, and we put the chainsaw back into his hand, because it does like to slide off from time to time. This is definitely more of a display slash photo op figure. Really kind of hard to get some play out of it, which is kind of a bummer. But if we take the included head sculpt with the hand, you just push that in there, and there you go. That is beautiful. I love the way this looks. It is so cool. Getting it to how you want it posed. Damn, that is just so brutal looking. He was brutal the entire movie. I absolutely loved it. That was definitely one of the best parts about the movie. He was just amazingly brutal, and the fact that he pretty much won in the end is so cool. I love the way this looks. It's so cool. Like, I know, like, being that brutal is not really Leatherface's thing, that it does lean more towards Jason and Michael. That's basically what I don't care for about the remake. And, this one had its moments, but I just feel like, I think it was done pretty nicely, to be honest. But I think if now you got this version of Leatherface plus, Jason, Michael, and Freddy, he can definitely hold his own now. I feel this is just such a cool version, and I love this head sculpt that's included with it. I think this one does need a bit of a paint job, but other than that, it just looks so cool. Definitely a beautiful looking figure. Now, of course, we're going to show off the posability a little bit. Starting off with the head sculpt first, you can go up, down that far, up that far. It's really not a lot of range, but I think it works pretty well. He does have a little bit of side to side. Of course, the hair kind of does get in the way, but it does get some decent amount of posability, and I do like the way that looks. We're going to do it with this arm. Usually I start with the right arm, but for reasons, we're going to start with the left this time. So he can move his arm out that far. Does a full rotation. No rotation at the elbows, which kind of sucks, but I think it still works. He does have, it looks like, a ratchet joint. It's a very soft ratchet joint, so it's not like, super, like how usual ratchet joints are. But he does have a beautiful double bend at the elbow, which is pretty nice because I like how almost seamless it is. I mean, there's definitely seams, but it looks really nice when you bend it. Posability at the wrist, and you can do a full rotation and a little bit of up and down, but it's nothing too exciting really. He does have some waist movements here. He has some movement right at the I guess that would be the torso. What part would that be? I don't know, we'll just call it like a upper waist movement. I can't really think right now. It's still 5 in the morning, so cut me some slack, bros. But he can kind of have a nice crunch about that far, and he can move back about that far, and he does have some side to side, which I think gives him a beautiful amount of range of posability. No waist movements, but he does have a pretty decent spread. With the apron on, he has a pretty decent kick, but this is definitely still in the way. But oh, you can see the underside of it too. That's just as bloody, and a couple buttons as well for his shirt and a little bit of his pants. But his leg can go out about that far, can go back about that far, which is pretty nice. He does have a nice bend at the knee, which is pretty neat. He does have some up and down at the foot, and there is no pivots from what I can see, except with this foot. But I don't think with this foot. So it's pretty nice posability. I think you can definitely get some decent poses out of him. He's definitely not one to full on get into some wacky poses, but he definitely can do some decent stuff. But I love the way it looks. I think he should have come with a little bit other, some more accessories. I feel like the hammer would have been a very nice addition. But other than that, I think all the accessories are pretty nicely done. Some other complaints that I do have is just the how the wrist pegs are actually done. I never really had a problem with the other Predators, so this is my first problem with Hiya Toys and their figure quality. I think that is very inexcusable, to be honest. I think they should have done a tiny bit better, but also I should have done a bit better as well. I should have, as soon as I saw that it was tight and, you know, instead of just yanking it out with the pliers, I should have warmed it up first and then done that. I should have just been a little bit more careful, but, you know, again, that should not really happen. It should have been just as sturdy as this one. But it is a very cool figure, and I did get this new. I didn't get it used by the person I bought it from Akari, so, you know, it's still really cool. I love this figure. He's so much fun. I've had, it took me a couple days to actually figure out how to fix him, so I've spent some time with him, and I really do like the way he looks. Small little size comparison. Here he is next to the Sacrifice Predator. The Predators are always going to be a bit taller, so there's really nothing you can do about that. But you can see that they both look pretty decent together. Really do like the way that looks. And here he is compared to a more normal figure of the McFarlane Leatherface from the Movie Mechanics line. Movie Maniacs, I forgot what it's called. It's one of those two. But you can see just the height difference, and you know, it does make me want the 6-inch figure. I think that the posability on this figure is beautifully done. It is so cool looking. I love the bloodiness of it. I just love the little accessories that he comes with. I do wish he came with a little hammer, but that's not really a deal breaker for me. It just looks so cool, and for such a tiny little figure, it's amazingly detailed. So I still really do like the Hiya Toys figures. I do wish that they would fix the joints. It'd be kind of cool if they had like tiny little magnet joints that you just kind of, you know, that it just magnetizes into place. I think that'd be really cool. But other than that, besides having the problem with the hand and just a lack of a hammer, this figure is beautiful, and I love this Hiya Toys figure. This might be my favorite Hiya Toys figure, but that's really hard to say because I do like the other Predators I have, but I don't know, he's so much fun just to handle, really. despite the arm issue. He's so much fun to just, you know, play around with. But I think that is pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think about the movie and what you think about the figure. If you guys have the figure yourself, tell me what you guys think about it. I'd like to hear your thoughts about the movie and the figure itself. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will say I love this figure. I do recommend it if you guys really want it. I think it's a decent look for him, even if you don't like the actual movie. It's a decent look, and I do recommend the Slaughter version because you do come with the head sculpt that he carries around, and I think that's really cool. But I think that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next horror video.